Hello and welcome. I'm back for another video with the Stamparatus. This is the first time I've used this fabulous new tool that I was lucky enough to help develop on the Leader to Leader team. It's going to be available to order in the new catalogue that starts in June, and if you're lucky enough to have reserved one, they'll start shipping to you from about the beginning of February. Okay, so the previous ones I showed you were using the photopolymer stamps and the sweet little someone set, which is from our new occasions catalogue that started today. And the other type of stamp that you can use with the Stamparatus is our cling stamps, or clear mount stamps. These are the ones that are the red rubber that have the cling film on the back. Now, to use these have got a built-in cushion, so we actually don't need this layer, so we can put that aside somewhere safe. Okay, so this one says, "Congratulations, graduate." It's from one of the very few cling mount sets I own, because if it's available in rubber, it's available in wood and cling, and I nearly always buy wood where possible. However, this tool is starting to make me look much more favourably on those neglected photopolymer sets that I own, and maybe even start buying cling rubber instead of wood mount. It might save me some space too. This one's called Sweet Sentiments. So another technique you can use the Stamparatus, I'm going to have to get better at saying that, is by using these hinge positions down here in a different way. So I can position my stamp where I want it to be and pick it up, pressing it in place. These aren't quite as sticky, so they won't actually disrupt the cardstock as easily, but it's still important to keep those magnets in place. Now I'm going to start with, I'm going to use a trio of colours, and I'm going to start with a light one, mainly because I'm too lazy to actually clean them in between, but it's always a good strategy to go from light to dark when you're working with ink. Much more forgiving. Alright, so good old rub and tap until you're happy with coverage, and ink my first stamp here. Now you will need to press a little bit firmly in this corner because it's got a double hinge here, so it's not going to be as easy to get the rubber to contact the paper in this corner. And I'll talk a little bit about a potential workaround. Hopefully this has worked. Yes, I don't think you'd really want to get any closer to that corner, but I will show you a technique that you can use to do that. And it's one of the accessories that I suspect will be developed out of our Leader to Leader project. Okay, so that's my first one. Okay, congratulations, graduate. Right, I don't want to move the stamp, I want to move the plate. I want to move it one position down. And I'm going to choose my next colour, which is Marina Mist. Rub and tap. Not even going to clean, just because I don't want messy ink spots where they'll inevitably end up if I don't clean as I go. Wipe that away with my damp cloth and press. And I have a multiple lined up there. And by moving it down again, one row, choosing a third colour. This one's the Dapper Denim, same combination I used for the bunny, and stamping a third time. Nice! Okay, so now that I actually want to go back to the light colour, I do have to clean my stamp, but it's pretty easy to use the microfiber cloth that I've been keeping on just a saucer, and you can even have a little bit of water on there just to keep it moist on a hot day. Alright, so let's go back to my palest colour, which was Soft Sky, and move it down one more notch. Ink and stamp. And this is a lot easier than using the Stampin' jig repeatedly, and a lot more foolproof. Okay, so for the last one I'm going to go back and make another Marina Mist one, and it might fit, but I think my magnet might be in the way, so I'm just going to move my magnet up out of the way before I do. Move one down and go for Marina Mist. Ink up. Whoa, see, this is why I get inky fingers. Never mind. It's a sign of being handmade, of course. Alright, and my final one. Oh, look at that. Okay, so I haven't had to move that stamp at all. I've just used these multiple positioning. Now, this technique will be useful as well for a lot of the photopolymer stamps that have borders. You could even have used the 4 different positions with different colours and produce multiples in that way as well, all beautifully lined up. Okay, awesome. Thanks very much for watching. Okay, as an add-on to this, I thought, well, I'm just going to give it a go. I'm going to use Chalk Lines, which is a retired photopolymer set, and I'm going to use this same multiple colour and multiple step stamping with the photopolymer. So I've added back my foam layer, I've removed my cling rubber stamp, and I'm going to position my first border. Here's another sadly neglected photopolymer set, because up until now I haven't really liked them very much. Remembering, of course, to actually put it with the stamp side down, because this back side will take ink quite nicely as well, but the pattern won't be as interesting. Don't ask me how I know that. Okay, so smoothing that one down there. I'm flattening that down. Okay, going to start with lightest, again because I'm lazy. So I'm going to ink up stripes and stamp, pressing firmly up in this top edge closest to the corner. Oh, look at that, very nice. Okay, so the next one along will give me another border, and I'll probably just need to move my magnet out of the way. Let's go for Marina Mist. Now this is a genuine experiment because I've never done this before, so hopefully I'm making it look easy, and if I can make it work straight out of the box, you can too. So if you didn't get an opportunity to pre-order one of these great tools, make a note for yourself in your Stampin' Up catalogue and keep an eye out for my newsletters or my Facebook page under Stamping Paper, and you'll be able to find out exactly when you can order a new one come the new catalogue time. Okay, so the spacing for this particular border is not quite right. I sort of feel like I need to have something in between. Okay, so let's see what we can do there. I'm going to turn my stamp over. I'm going to use this stamping surface and a second one with the little hearts. And I'm going to position the little hearts in the middle, like so. Right there. Smooth that on, and the darkest one's going to be in the middle. That's okay. Alright, so Dapper Denim. Now this would work equally well with some of the other photopolymer sets. I'm actually going to need to look at my catalogue all over again, because there's a whole bunch of sets I've just skipped past because I'm going, oh, it's photopolymer, I don't like it. But now I think I think I might be able to adapt. Alright, let's see how this goes. Oh, didn't quite ink up. Okay, so that is the advantage. This is up near the hinge. This is the little, you can see the ink's still on the stamp. I can just position it back and give it more of a press, and hopefully, voila, it's turned out okay. Awesome, so that's using a combination of the cling mount stamps and the photopolymer stamps. It's showing you the multiple steps down the side with multiple colours and combining the two different types of stamps on one card front. And if I'd actually left this one over here in the position that I wanted it to be, I could easily make multiples of this card as well. I mentioned that I was going to talk about a bit of a hack for stamping very close to the corners where these hinges make it harder to get good contact between the stamp and the cardstock. Now, I also do picture framing as a hobby, and my cutter has a little corner piece that I use for narrow mouldings, which enables me to use it quite easily. It's just like an accessory, and I strongly suspect that this is one of the things that Stampin' Up! Is going to introduce to go with the Stamparatus to make it easier to get close to the very corners. Now, the way this is going to work is to go into the corner here, and this is just a piece of Stampin' imaging sheet that I have sacrificed. Used to have a couple of stays on images on it, and I've made it into a right angle, discard that other piece there and cleaned off the stamps, and I'm actually just going to position it in this corner here. And the thickness of this, and if you don't have a Stampin' imaging sheet handy, Quilter's template that you can buy from craft stores will achieve the same purpose. And what that actually enables me to do is it gives me a second right angle that's further away from the hinges, and that's those magnets, they do quite sting. If you do get them clung together like that, don't snap them apart, slide them apart, and that will help reduce the risk of them breaking. But now, just like your Stampin' I can position the corner of my cardstock in this right angle, and I still know that it's perfectly straight, and that way I don't even have to leave that there, but I will, because it'll help hold it in position. And that way I can actually make sure that I can get right into the corners, which for some of the scene building type photopolymer stamps might be very, very useful. So that's a quick and easy accessory you can make to get even more flexibility out of your new Stamparatus. I hope you've enjoyed watching. Take a look at my Facebook page. You should be able to search me up under Stamp Ink Paper, or send me an email at michelle.dyson@bigpond.com, and I'd be happy to answer any of your questions. Thank you very much for watching my first series of videos. It was quite fun. Thanks again. Bye.